So, hello everyone. I imagine it'll take a second for people to pop on, but my name's Michelle Ray, and I'm here in the library of my community because, um, yeah, I couldn't make it home, but it's actually a really nice library, and I'm here with Scott Perry, who is the creator of Creative on Purpose, a Substack, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. So, as I said, my name is Michelle, and I'm going to get comfortable. I decided that I wanted to start my Substack really based on the fact that I'm a new author, right? I'm publishing a book, and I was heeding the advice of, you have to have a platform, and I've never really had a platform besides Facebook. So I started my Substack, and I started posting chapters from my memoir, and I quickly realized that this was like an amazing community, and there were so many possibilities um, to create community, to do more than just post my material. So I've been on Substack for just over a year, and over the past month or so, I started a community called the Story Space, and we're really focused on people kind of excavating, finding personal experience, and using it to create trust with their subscribers, or just to have stories that tap into universal experiences that they can share. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk to Scott because he his purpose sort of aligns with mine, although the details are different. Um, as I said, Creative on Purpose is his Substack, and I like two lines from his Substack say, "Live your legacy, let your life speak," which I think are both great directives, and I will try to start doing both. But I will just let Scott introduce himself, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. It's a privilege to spend some time with you. And
Mm-hmm.
congratulations on your book and
Mm-hmm.
your new platform. So, my name is Scott Perry. My publication is indeed Creative on Purpose. And Creative on Purpose is all about navigating the intersection of the art of living and work that matters. So, I
Mm-hmm.
am mostly to people that identify maybe as solopreneurs or freelancers or purpose-driven creatives. But some of the people are just have an idea that they want to spread or a cause they want to promote, and helping them do that on their terms, without compromise, in a way that reflects their personality and preferences and helps them attract the right people to the great work that they do in the way that only they can do it. So if that sounds interesting, you can check out Creative on Purpose here on Substack. And yeah, I appreciate the kind words about live your legacy, which is a phrase I coined in one of my previous books, and this idea of let your life speak, which is actually something I borrowed from Parker J. Palmer, who also is on Substack. Um, it's an old Quaker aphorism for this idea that you are sufficient and whole and entirely unique, and a fulfilling life is a life that you live on your terms by standing up to be seen and doing your thing out loud and in public and letting your people find you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I noticed one thing you said there that I really liked was about, it just went out of my head. Well, I guess living the legacy part. How much do you think your Substack is about like alignment? Because I think this idea of bringing all the aspects that you are, like your work, your home life, your whatever, family life together, is that part of your purpose?
It absolutely is. One of my earliest books shared a Venn diagram that I've been revising and iterating and improving, which is this idea of, you could call it, like, legacy is the way that I think about legacy is not the money or the monuments that you leave behind. It's the difference that you're making right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe that one of the the purposes of any life is to live a life of meaning, significance, fulfillment, and that you can do that on your terms by aligning who you really are, what you're really great at, and where you really belong.
Right.
And there's a lot of growth hackers and digital marketers here on Substack that will tell you that you need to do it their way, which is, following some sort of email marketing blueprint or funnel uh,
Hmm.
type of thing, or that you have to do it through notes, or you have to do it through your publication or paid subscribers, or don't, or make it entirely free. Like, you can actually literally build a business in any way that works for you based on your personality and preferences. I'm old enough to have built many businesses before there was even an internet, or never mind social media, never mind this
Hmm.
thing called digital marketing. Um, Fundamentally, the things that you need to build a successful endeavor, whether it's a business or a community or a project or a cause, is you need to have an offer that is irresistible enough to an audience that is eager enough for the problem you can help them solve or the aspiration you can help them achieve. And you just need to have a way of putting that offer in front of that audience. And for me, Substack has been a really great platform and vehicle for doing that. I'm going to celebrate my third year in August, coming up here in a couple of months. And
Hmm.
I've been able to earn my annual revenue number with a very small audience compared to most of the folks that are selling Substack growth hacking programs or digital marketing programs. I've been able to earn my revenue number in the first 6 months of the year, with less than 1,000 subscribers and a paid subscriber base of less than 60.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember that you talked about that. I think I went to one of your talks, and hearing that made me feel like, oh, there's a relief because I have less than 1,000 subscribers. Although I mean I've been on Substack for a year, so I feel like my growth has been good. It's been what I want it to be. Like
Hmm.
I don't really think that numbers are a good metric of your particular success. I think you have to have some inward motivation and your own metric, which I think it sounds like what you're talking about is really part of your philosophy. Um, but I wonder too about, so you talk about aligning these parts of yourself, and to me that's really what you're saying is like the ability to be authentic, like who you are in every situation is the same person essentially. Um, Therefore, that person becomes stronger because there's no compartmentalization. Is
Hmm.
that kind of what we're talking about here?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I call it work-life integration.
Mhm.
Um, work is simply the means by which we take care of our financial responsibilities most of the time. And the work that we do, the more that we can align the work that we do with our values and what brings us a feeling of significance and fulfillment that enhances the lives of other people, the more fulfilling it will be to us, the better
Mhm.
the legacy. It helps us align our reputation, which is what other people say about us, with our character, which is who we really are when nobody's watching.
Mhm.
And so I think for me, that idea of integrity is the way that I would phrase it, as opposed to authenticity. I totally like the way that you're using authenticity. I totally agree with, and I do see a lot of folks that that use authenticity as, this idea of just be yourself, and
Mhm.
like, I don't want my doctor to come in for surgery and just be himself. Like, if my doctor doesn't really just had an argument with their partner and is angry and frustrated and not really feeling it today, I don't want
Yeah.
them to bring that into the operating room. I
Right.
want them to act
Yeah.
like a professional.
Right.
So,
Know the audience at minimum.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
for me, the word integrity is the word I would use when you're talking about what authenticity means, which is just that idea of showing up as you are with what you have, doing what you can in the moment you're in with the person that you're working with on or for,
Hmm.
and making sure, like you said, that that you're everything is in alignment.
Hmm.
Um, and that's one of the reasons why I love what you do is you
Yeah.
talk a lot about helping people get in touch with who they really are based on
Hmm.
whether it's their origin story or just the story that they want to promote, the narrative that they want to promote to connect with the right people, the people they can actually serve, or the people that will actually resonate and benefit from the stories that they're telling. I think that's all the work of integrity and alignment. And if you want to call that authenticity, then it's authenticity as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because I've been a teacher for so long, an English teacher, 30 years, and now a writer. Um, I mean, I've always been a writer, but I would really call myself a writer, I would say, in the past 4 or 5 years. What I've discovered is that, we are hardwired for story, and that, you know, when I'm teaching, my students will always try to like get me off course by asking for a story, right? They always want to hear about like a personal event, something that happened, and I would often use that to like, of course, teach a lesson, but also just to connect with them more, right? I mean, that seems very obvious and natural for a teacher to do in the classroom, but I want people to understand that that can happen anywhere, and of course there has to be, you know, read the room, right audience, right place, all of that. But I think people, especially people from my generation and older, I think I'm Generation X, I'm 55. There's the real need or understanding that you should compartmentalize. Like you should have a business face, a home face, all of that. And I agree that you need to be professional, but at the same time, personal stories don't have to be just personal. Like we're all humans, and we all um, experience the same basic um, big life events. Um, Maybe not the circumstances, but the big emotions and all of that. So when you bring forth those stories, people connect with you, and it just can really change the conversation.
Mm.
So I'm sorry, I feel like I was rambling there, but
No, no. Well,
but
I love what you're saying, and I love your work because fundamentally, human beings make sense of themselves, each other, and their situation through narrative. It's all
mhm,
storytelling,
right.
and aligning the story that you're telling with with the intended impact it has. That's a very nuanced, challenging dance. We
Yeah,
all
it is.
What we are saying makes perfect sense to us because we have all the accompaniment context and background. The
Mhm,
person on the receiving end doesn't have all that. So oftentimes between the intention of my story and the impact it has on someone else is this messy little thing called interpretation. I'm
right.
interpreting things one way, you're interpreting things the other way, but the more that we pay attention to and bring integrity and intention to the telling, which is what I see your work being so
Mhm,
good at, the more opportunity there is for that alignment that we are all looking for, so that I'd be interested in your take on this, but one of the things that I think about when it comes to storytelling is I want my story to connect with and attract the right people for sure, but I
mhm,
also want my narrative, my storytelling to be generously polarizing. I want the
mhm,
wrong people to understand that I'm not for them so that they can move on and find who they need as
mhm,
soon as possible. I don't want to get caught up in a dance where I'm trying to be a people pleaser and try to
right.
provide something for everyone. Like I am very clear about what I am doing and who it is for and the outcome that I'm promising, but I can only do that for people that are facing the problems that I solve or chasing the aspirations that I can help them with.
Mhm.
And so I need to, that narrative, that storytelling has to be, you know, again, your word, authentic, my word,
Mhm.
it has to have integrity. Look, it looks like it looks like Michelle may have accidentally left her own room. I hope she can come back. I don't know if I can do anything about that, but I'm going to see if I can. Well, while we wait and see if Michelle can make her way back to this room, if anybody wants to drop anything in the comments or any questions, I'm happy to field them in Michelle's absence. Sherry says she'll be back. I do see buttons, Marlana, but I don't see any buttons that allow me to invite Michelle back to her own to her own room. Sherry says it happens. All right, Michelle is now